there, this is Juanita. Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is cold out here and it's snowed, if you noticed. And we have also been battling some rain. So, regardless of this, I am going to go ahead and continue to restore the rest of my wood stove. I still have the door to restore and get that all together and paint that. I also need to paint part of the chimney because most of the chimney is going to be stainless steel, but unfortunately the portion that hooks on, the oval to round that hooks onto the wood stove, is not stainless steel and it can rust. So to prevent it from rusting, I've got to paint that. Let's see, what else do I got to do? Oh, if you notice, I have a little new addition to my top of my pergola. Now, I didn't do this work. I had a good friend of mine who is helping me. His name is Pablo. He has been actually doing this work because I've been having to do other things. So he's been a really great help. But he added this lip so that I can add the wood stove further out here and it won't get rained on. Also because I need to put a chimney up there, so just so sparks don't fly out and hit plastic and melt that, I added some corrugated metal. Now, this has been a really slow process, but I'm going to continue this because I am determined to get that wood stove fired up this winter. But I've got that, so that's really great. Now, if you haven't done it already, please hit that subscribe button and that notification button so you can help support my channel in a very small way. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So it's my understanding that you have to sand this lightly for the paint to adhere to it, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So the paint that I'm going to be using is this Rust-Linoleum. This is for 500 degrees Fahrenheit. It's engine paint. So I'm going to spray it with this, and then I'm going to be spraying it with the maximum heat as well. So now that I got that, I'm going to sand this down. Now you're not really going to see this, but it is pretty bad, so I'm going to go ahead and sand it down and then do a little bit of fine tuning on the chrome and then try to piece it together. As far as the door itself, this part does need to be cleaned out. As you can see, pretty bad. So let's see what I can do. Again, I'm going to be using just vinegar. Now I'm only going to use vinegar to take the rust off here. Now this part doesn't need it. However, I'm going to try to remove this. I don't know how successful I can be, but I'm going to try to. Yeah, that's just not going to come off. So, I'm just going to have to work around that. That's okay. I can work around that. Okay, that worked. Then I can paint that. size to fit in each individual spot here. So basically you cut these and you fit them in here. And I'm just going to overlap it just a little bit. Because with the heat, these will shrink. And that is why you want to cut them individually. And it's better to be over than under, because you can always take away, but you can't add back. Okay, so now these are all in place with enough room for it to shrink a little bit. So I centered it to each window. And I do need to allow that space for this little screw, so they need to be cut in the corners. Now this goes on top. And as long as it's covered, that's all that matters. So I need to add this insulation here. So I did this wrong. So hopefully that'll work. Okay, we'll do one at a time here. That is cold. My hands are freezing. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let's get this door on. All right. Okay, let's fire this baby up. Now put that in there. Now when you start a fire, always start it off with some really small pieces just to get it going first before you start adding big logs. Now I don't have big logs. I just want to see how this is performing for right now. But okay guys, we have the first fire for at least getting this going. I'm so excited. I'm just going to start it slow. See how warm this gets. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. Okay, I'm ready to put it in my pergola. I'm excited about this.
Level. Yeah.
So let's move that. This back.
That side.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Oh, right on the money. Honey, would you go get a plus one? As long as the pen doesn't go forward, I think I'm good. Goes on in front of a wire mesh if you want.
What's that? Oh,
Yeah.
It's all right away.
it's right in.
Oh, yeah, that fits perfect. Oh, fantastic. So perfect, right there. Is this gonna be
We're
far
opening a
enough?
restaurant.
I think it does.
No.
Oh. 13. Okay, oh, perfect. pergola. I am so excited about that, and I can't wait to show it to you. I know that you saw it in the thumbnail, but there's nothing like seeing it live. Now I want to point out a couple of things. My pergola does distort my camera, so I apologize for the quality if that is an issue. Also, it is raining outside. This is Oregon. We get our rainy season at this time of the year, and we're expecting rain all the way until this weekend, and the temperatures are going to go up to about 54, so I'm excited about that. But in the meantime, this is going to take away a little bit from the crackling of the fire, but I'm excited to get it started anyway and get this thing a little warmed up. But it's still nice and cozy in here, and I love it. This is just another great way to enjoy your outdoor furniture in the fall. So with that said, let's get this fire going and get this place warmed up. So Let me introduce you to my wood stove. Isn't she a beauty? Oh my God, I love it. And I have to say that there were so many times that I wanted to quit when it came to restoring this, because there was just so many issues with this, and it just was a little challenge for me. And I never gave up, and so I really thank the good Lord for standing by me and pushing me through and making this possible with, you know, getting all my parts and everything that I needed to get this completed. And I'm really happy that I did, because it's absolutely gorgeous. And I didn't think that it would be possible to do this, but I'm really glad to have this done. Again, this is all decorative, and I will be removing this, and I will remove it now so that you can see what it looks like. But, and I already kind of started a fire this morning because I wanted to see how this panned out. But let's start it up even more. If you notice, I have plastic back here. Now this will not melt, even though this is not actually fire resistant or fire retardant, whatever you want to call it. But this chimney here is about a 3-ply chimney. So it has up to about 2 inches variance around the whole chimney. So it's really safe. This part here will get hot, but I have a metal plate in the back of this. I added this as a temporary measure for this winter. But next spring that's going to change, so stay tuned for that. And this will change later on in the season, because I actually ordered dirt plastic and it hasn't arrived yet. So temporarily this is going to be up. The other thing that I did is I added probably another foot out of, well actually it's probably about 2 feet out of rooftop, so that when it rains, it will not rain on here, but rather around it. And I'm still going to look into getting canvas walls with clear plastic windows around here so that I can see outside. And yeah, but anyway, let's fire this up. But first, let me show you what this looks like without the top on. So for the most part, this will probably be removed when I'm using the wood stove, but otherwise it will stay on there. The other thing is that I do have a temperature gauge and also a fan that's coming in the mail that hasn't arrived yet. But for the most part, this is ready to cook on and ready to fire up. So let's get it fired up. So before I get started, I just want to mention that anytime you start a wood stove, especially if it's outside and it's in the cold, always start it very slowly. Just like the chimney is. You always want to start really slow to get this warmed up, because if you don't, even with cast iron wood stove, you will end up cracking cast iron if you don't start it out slow, because it just can't handle a big burst of flames immediately, just like a chimney, especially when it's out in the cold elements like we have it out here. Because even though this is underneath a pergola, it's still pretty cold out. It's probably about 34 degrees out today. So let's get it going. And again, if the quality of the filming is not great, bear in mind that it's just because it's in here. But hopefully this will all work out. The main thing that I want to see is to just make sure that no smoke is going to bellow out and that all this is going to work out really well. Now, I already lit it up like I mentioned earlier, that I already lit it up and I've already witnessed what it'll do. Now, wood stoves will still bellow out a little bit of smoke, but For the most part, if your chimney is high enough up the top, now I think I have like 3 feet up above, so it should be sufficient. But technically, if your chimney brings in smoke every time you open the door, it has that backdraft. It's a lot of it because your chimney's not high enough, or tall enough, rather. So always make sure that your chimney is tall enough when you're installing a wood stove. But right now I don't see any smoke, and my damper is closed, so I'm going to go ahead and open it a little bit. And just for the sake of having this first fired up, I'm going to put a fresco log in here. And then when I get to the store, I will actually get some good wood. But for now, this will work. Now also when you're starting a fire, make sure, regardless of starting it slow or not, you always want to start with dry wood at all times. Whether you're starting it or adding wood, always make sure that it's dry, because that'll alleviate a lot of the smoke as well. Isn't this exciting? Oh my god. There we go. Nice fire. And I don't really, I see a little bit of smoke, but some of that's from just being cold out and this being cold, so not too worried about that. This is great. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to have more fires in here. There's going to be some changes in this pergola as well, so stay tuned for that. There's going to be changes to this whole area back here this spring and summer. So yeah, a lot of changes. And this was just the beginning of it. And I'm so happy that I have this in here. And it looks great. I don't see any smoke. Hopefully you don't either. And this looks beautiful. Now again, I will have an actual thermometer in here and a fan to bring out the heat. But you guys get active, and you don't have to restore a wood stove, but just enjoy your outdoor in the winter months. And again, I apologize for the noise. I'm hoping that that's not deterring from that, but I can't control the rain. But this is so good. Now I'm just going to put the decorative part back down here because it's not going to hurt it. But isn't that a beautiful stove? I just absolutely love it. Okay, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being patient on this project. It probably could have been a lot shorter, but I wanted to show you a lot of the details about restoring a wood stove, especially an old wood stove such as this. So, with that said, I will see you guys on my next video, because there will be more to come on firing up this wood stove, as well as maybe having a cookout in here. So, thank you, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye for now. Mwah. Love you.